Well, TikTok is officially set to be banned on January 19th. I know a lot of people are bummed out about this, kind of worried about the implications, and that's completely valid. But in my opinion, TikTok is the worst thing that has happened to the cosplay community, and I think this ban is a really good thing for the cosplay community if we're just talking about that specifically. So I'm going to lay it all down for you right now. But before we get into that, hi, my name is Ezra Faye. I'm a professional makeup artist, a cosplayer, and I cannot lie to you because I have tried my hand at TikTok fame before. I think at some point, most TikTokers who are also cosplayers have tried the whole cosplay TikTok fame thing. It's pretty common. Bear with me, I'm using my iPad as a teleprompter of sorts in this chair in front of me, and it's not the best option, but it's what I got. So if you see me looking down, that's why. So I've been cosplaying for almost 10 years, and of course I had my crappy cosplay Instagram in high school, but I really didn't start truly establishing an online presence as a cosplayer until about 2021 when I had watched a handful of Attack on Titan cosplay TikToks for myself, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I want to do it. And that's when it kind of really took off for me, not necessarily in the aspects of fame per se. Through TikTok, I made tons of friends, tons of happy memories, and my cosplays really evolved. So it was definitely good for something. I'm not saying that TikTok is only bad for everyone, because it's not, but just let me cook. Okay, and listen, I'm not here to argue with anybody in my comment section about the political side of this ban. If you want to make it political, I'm going to tell you thank you for the engagement boost, because I am not a politics commentary page. I definitely have my own views about it, but that's not what this video is about right now. So when I was in high school, we didn't have TikTok. That makes me sound really old. But TikTok really changed the cosplay community as a whole. It's so different from how it was when I was in high school. And obviously, I'm not averse to change, but I am averse to negative change. But something that I've noticed about TikTok over other social media platforms, and when I say social media platforms, for this instance, I'm mostly referring to Instagram and YouTube. I've noticed that it is a lot easier to gain a following on TikTok than it is on these other platforms. I've seen a lot of creators on TikTok boast a high follower count, but their follower count is actually very average. And this is because of how the algorithm works. I'm sure a lot of y'all are familiar with the TikTok algorithm. I'm not an expert on it by any means, but does it even really matter anymore? I've honestly stopped creating on TikTok pretty much at all, because I've known this ban was in the works for a while, and the way that I saw it happening was yeah. But to be a creator on TikTok that has 10K to 50K followers, and I will even go as far as to say once you even hit 100K, that is very average as a creator. That is the equivalent to having a few hundred, maybe even 1 to 2, dare I say 3,000 followers on Instagram, just from the connections that I've made. I've looked at people's TikToks and they have let's say 100,000 followers, but then you go look at their Instagram, they only have 2,000, 3,000. You're like, well, 50K, for example, is a big number. You see oh, I have 50,000 followers, that's a lot of people, but it is very different. And I will just go ahead and say a lot of those followers are dead followers, inactive followers. I have 88K on TikTok and I get no engagement on my videos. Even before I really quit TikTok and I was consistently creating, I would only get about 1,000 views on a video. And it's okay, well, where are the other 87K, right? But that really big number can get into a lot of people's heads and give them this image of, oh, I'm an internet celebrity now because I have 88K followers. So then you have this problem where it's average everyday people are now getting these really big heads because the algorithm just showed that one right video and suddenly influx of followers. So then you have these people, they're seeing themselves as TikTok famous, a celebrity of sorts, but you're really just some guy. Your content may be great. It may be exceptional, excellent content, but you are still just some guy. And I think that's like the thing that people forget as soon as they do hit that certain follower count. And that's for everything. But like, we're talking about TikTok right now. A 10-second video can get a million of views, but millions of people can view an Instagram post and you can only get like a couple thousand likes. And the thing is that Instagram is paying out on likes and TikTok is paying out on views. So even if you post a TikTok and it gets like a million views, but only like 100 likes, you're still getting paid for those views, because whether those people liked it or not, you're still getting the views. And you can generate a lot of views on TikTok versus something like YouTube, because it's short form versus long form content. And something else I noticed is just like the ease of blowing up on TikTok. It is so common. You can do like literally the most low effort thing. Okay, look, I think I look pretty right now. Like, I'm trying to be more vocal about, affirming myself. Like, hey, I do look beautiful today. That's perfectly healthy as long as I'm not being a snob about it, which I'm not. But I could literally be like, you know what? I feel like I look very beautiful today. I could just turn on some moody music and put on a filter and look in the camera like this. I could get 1 million views. And I'm only saying that because it happens. It ticks me off because it's like, you look so good. You really do. But you're doing like the bare minimum. And then you've got people who put all this effort into making their costumes, making their props, doing dances, doing skits, doing all these elaborate things, and they get no recognition. And part of that is also because something that is so relevant on TikTok is pretty privilege. That is a whole different monster that I could talk about. That is something that's so prevalent on TikTok, especially cosplay TikTok. People see a pretty person, male, female, non-binary, whatever you are. If you are pretty, you don't have to do anything to blow up on TikTok. You can just sit there. Even the non-cosplayers, you just have like a pretty girl and she's like lip syncing to Sabrina Carpenter in her phone, 5 million views. And like, I don't have a disdain for pretty people. I don't have a disdain for large creators as a whole, or people who do blow up, but I do notice like on TikTok, these large creators that have hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of followers, a majority of them are really not doing anything. They're not contributing anything to the community except for like, hey, I'm here, I'm pretty, and that's okay. Like, you go be pretty, like slay. But it does kind of suck because a lot of times it's overshadowing like people who are really like deserving of spotlight, but they're not getting it because, oh, like you're liking one video from this one pretty person and all of a sudden that's your whole For You page. So then all these other people are kind of getting shoved into a corner, and it can be really hard to get discovered on TikTok despite how easy it is to blow up. It's weird. They're just putting in the least amount of effort, and then they think they're better than everybody else because, again, going back to the high follower count, they're like, oh, well, I have a lot of followers, so I'm just better. Like, I'm a cosplay celebrity now. And it's just like, it's not everybody, but unfortunately, I have seen that is how a good number of the large following cosplay creators act on that app. So I am certainly happy to be rid of that, because with platforms like Instagram and YouTube, I do feel like you have to put in more effort. Yes, TikTok and YouTube have their own avenues of short form content, but it's not like what they're known for. The only reason that we have like Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts is because they're copying TikTok, because that's the big thing. I personally hope that we get back into a long form content society. I want to support someone that is clearly like devoted to their craft or what they're doing, or like actually passionate, not just trying to rake in some views because they are conventionally attractive. So yeah, I feel like just TikTok has ruined so much of the cosplay community because it's become so much less about, you can tell this person's really devoted, really passionate, really engaged. This person loves what they do, and it's become so much about, I'm pretty and I have a lot of followers. Something that has really been exciting about this ban, the one thing that I was like, oh shit, wait, we are about to see a mass deplatforming of these large TikTok creators. And I do feel like A lot of people don't want to put the effort into going to like find all of your other social medias. You have to go to every creator's page individually, find their link tree, hope the Instagram's in there, leave the app, go to Instagram, follow, go back to TikTok, repeat. Like, it's just too much work. And a lot of people are not going to want to put in that work. I do feel bad for large creators with deserved success, high effort, that are going to be losing like their main platform and possibly their main source of income. I do really, like, my heart goes out to those people. I am not celebrating that in any ways as much as I am celebrating the fact that large problematic creators are about to get a mass deplatforming. Like, I hope that this makes these people stop. I don't know what else. Like, I hope it is so discouraging for these harmful creators that have done way more harm than good in the cosplay community. I hope it crushes them. I hope that they lose so many followers and they do not gain the same traction on YouTube, Instagram, whatever the fuck, because they do not deserve it. They gotta go. We've been trying to get rid of them for so long, so at least we got that. We got one W, guys. In a way, I really hope this gives newer creators who didn't get the chance to experience the peak of TikTok, as well as people who've been trying for a while and just haven't hit that nail yet, who are really good and deserve to be seen, the chance. I hope that this kind of serves as like a reset on the cosplay community, because I just know like cosplay short form content is not as big on Instagram and YouTube despite their short form avenues. I strongly believe that we can be doing so much to contribute to our community and to each other, especially in a time when like things seem like really dark. We can spend that time like helping each other, connecting with each other, rather than sitting in our bedroom lip syncing or doom scrolling to said lip syncing videos. We are so much smarter than that, guys. Like, it's okay to indulge every now and then, but I think for a lot of people it is way more than just an occasional indulgence. I can't stand like this culture of pretty privilege and just low effort and people with this like, I'm TikTok famous and that means something. I think that we should be cosplaying because we love it, not to become internet famous. But like, yeah, it's a hobby. It's like, I've said this in so many videos, but I'm like, it's a hobby. Can we please just love a hobby? So there is like a chance for this ruling to be overturned. I honestly don't see that happening. I didn't see it happening like 9 months ago when they were like, y'all have this amount of time to sell or it's going bye-bye. Like, I had a feeling that this was going to happen. So I've honestly been withdrawing myself from TikTok, from creating and viewership for months now, in preparation for this, because I was really dependent upon TikTok at one time in my life. But I think now would be a great time, if you are a cosplay content creator, to find an avenue, Instagram, YouTube, because everybody is about to start rushing towards them. But basically, I just feel like TikTok ruined the cosplay community because it just came about getting the most views, getting to be the prettiest person, getting to be the most famous so that people come up to you at cons and all that stuff, getting to do like the most TikTok trends. And it's just, that's not what it's about. I feel like with any social media, like likes and views have always been kind of like what you want, but like I never remember it being this bad when it was like mostly on Instagram. I never remember it being like so snobby. I mean, I'm sure there was, but it was never to this degree. And it's just become so much of a competition. It's disgusting, honestly. It's become a game of who knows who are you following, who are you mutuals with. So many like cliques and groups have formed out of TikTok, and this like disgusting, we're better than you mentality. Like, guys, you all know we're playing dress up, right? You know we're dressing up as anime characters, right? Because that used to not be cool. I really hope that it gets better. I feel like there's only so much I can say, because I've already talked a lot about this in previous videos. It's like, how much more can I say? But literally, I woke up at 3 a.m. from a dream, and in my dream I was making this video, and I woke up and I was like, that's a good video idea. Again, it's not against people who are attractive. It's not against people who like to lip sync, but it's just like, why are we gravitating towards that? Like, are we so easily entertained? I don't know, guys. I don't know anymore. I'm ready for this app to be gone. I will miss the news, and I will miss the cute little "This is us" videos, and it's like a squirrel and the girl squirrel, and I'm like, to my boyfriend, I'm like, this is us, But like other than that, get it out of here because it's done more harm than good. You find some good people there, but a lot of those people now that I know aren't doing much TikTok either. I just feel like it's all just brain rot and competition, and it's no good. So I say good riddance. What do you think though? And keeping the political side out of it, not because we want to ignore politics, but just because this is more about the impact towards a specific community, being the cosplay community. What do you think about the impacts of it on the community of cosplay? Are you excited about it? Do you think it's a good thing? Are you really upset about it? And are you feeling like you have nowhere to go after this? Let me know what you think because I am interested to hear what everybody has to say. Again, this is my personal opinion. It is not the end all be all by any means. But anyways, please make sure that you like and subscribe so that you can become one of Ezra's Fays, where I do cosplay, a lot of cosplay content lately. Not as much makeup content as I would like to have done, but also like if you have ideas for makeup videos, that would help because I have so many like cosplay related ideas and not as many makeup videos in my mind. And I'm like, well, I am a professional makeup artist, so I feel like I should like, even if it's just like cosplay makeup tutorials, like I don't know, can y'all like tell me what to do? That'd be super great. Anyways, bye!